a little look at a lyric and the song. This time, Polka Dots and Moonbeams, written in the 40s. And I think it was the first hit for Frank Sinatra, so Wikipedia tells me. Anyway, let me cut straight to it. Pug-Nosed Dream. Yeah. Always thought it's a lovely song, lovely melody like the Chords, but I was hung up on this Pug-Nosed Dream. Pug-Nosed Dream. Yeah, I didn't felt awkward with it. Don't know why. Thought about it recently and did it again. Thought, let me have a little look at this. Is it really what I think? So I looked at it, the lyric, and gradually my ideas about it began to change. So let me recite the lyric. It's an AABA, the song, old school as they were, A section, B section, another A section. And the lyric is this. A country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an "oh, beg your pardon." Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams, I mean like stars I guess, all around a pug-nosed dream. The music started, and was I the perplexed one? I held my breath and said, may I have the next one? In my frightened arms, polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a pug-nosed dream. That's the two A sections. Here's the B section. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we floated over the floor. There were questions, but my heart knew all the answers. And perhaps a few things more. Last A section. Now in a cottage built of lilacs and laughter, I know the meaning of the words ever after. And I'll always see polka dots and moonbeams all around a pug-nosed dream. Or when I kiss. I think it says when I kiss a pug-nosed dream. I prefer to say when I kiss my pug-nosed dream. A pug-nosed dream sounds a bit even. So what is this pug-nose? I thought, well, is it meant to be button-nose? Let me look at the language and see if in America in the 40s that pug-nose actually meant something attractive. Couldn't really find that it did. Couldn't find a way of changing it, really. Button-nosed dream doesn't... Even that's a bit odd. And then it dawned on me. I think... Well, it makes sense for me, so I can do this song now, in the right circumstances, that I think it means yes. It means somebody who's unattractive. So let me go through it again with that new matter-of-fact understanding and see why it's quite a strange song or unusual song in that way. So, a country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an "oh, beg your pardon." So, I'm going to put it in the male perspective. Here I am. It's a country dance I'm doing, I think. This lass comes, I felt a bump here. I felt a bump and someone says, "Oh, beg your pardon." And I turn round and I'm smitten with this rather perhaps unattractive, physically perhaps, woman. But it's obviously got something about her. So suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around a pug-nosed dream. So I'm like, oh, wow. Wouldn't have thought. Second part, the music started and was I the perplexed one? I held my breath and said, may I have the next one? So I've asked her for a dance. Little bit, where it says, I held my breath. I suppose if I'm going to be very particular, if you hold your breath, you can't say anything. But I get the idea. There's poetic license, shall we say. So I held my breath and said, may I have the next one? In my frightened arms, polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a pug-nosed dream. So now I'm dancing with her. I'm still smitten, and she's still a pug-nose. There's no getting away from it. Pug-nose she is. Here's why I think that's the case. Middle 8. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we floated over the floor. So I'm thinking that means that these other people are thinking, what is he doing with her? Old pug-nose. I'm thinking that's what it means. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we floated over the floor. There were questions, but my heart knew all the answers, and perhaps a few things more. Why would there be questions if she was attractive? Just, there wouldn't be questions. If you dance, that's what you're there. It's a dance. So interesting. I don't know. So I'm misreading it. You read it for yourself the way you think it is. Unless I'm misreading it, that must be what it means. And then on to the last day section. Now in a cottage built of lilacs and laughter. It's a nice old-fashioned phrase, isn't it? Can you imagine that? A cottage built of lilacs and laughter. I know the meaning of the words ever after, and I'll always see polka dots and moonbeams when I kiss my pug-nosed dream. So there it is. And I think that's the interpretation, as far as I can see. Well, that's the one I'm using anyway, which makes it a rather unusual song. And rather cute, I think, in that way. So that's my interpretation of the lyric, which is a little bit, unusual. What about the rest of it? Melody. I think it's a pretty melody. It's typical of being old school. It goes all over the place a bit, really. AABA, as I say. A country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an "oh, beg your pardon." Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around a Pug-Nosed dream. That's the first day section. Second day section. The music started and was I the perplexed one. I held my breath and said, may I have the next one? In my frightened arms, polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a Pug-Nosed dream. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we floated over the floor. There were questions, but my heart knew all the answers, and perhaps a few things more. So I like that. So we've got the end of the first day section. We've got our polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a Pug-Nosed dream. Then we got a 2-5-1 into G. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we went over the floor. Questions of all knew the answers, and perhaps here's how we get back a few things more. And now in a cottage built of lilacs and laughter, I know the meaning of the words ever after, and I'll always see polka dots and moonbeams when I kiss my Pug-Nosed dream. All over the place, really, but hangs together very well, I think. Yeah, I like it. Nothing to complain about at all with that. Chords. I didn't alter any of these. I'm just using the stock chords that come with the iReal app. Very familiar, that. And here. Oops. You've heard it all before. Repeats. Going to the middle eight. To G. You've heard this before as well. And this, turn around, it's quite nice. Back to the other A section. One thing I thought I might do, and I don't know if I'd done it on the recording I did of it, is put a pedal. The last time we put a pedal in the last A section. So we've got a, instead of having now in a cottage built of lilacs and laughter, I might keep the B flat in the bass. Now in a cottage built of lilacs and laughter, I know the meaning of the words ever after. So the original, the last A, AABA, the last A would be this. putting the pedal in would be this. Just the last time to give it a little bit of that. Well, I mean, quality writing, I think there's nothing, as I say, nothing, I think lovely melody, good strong harmony in the chords. And this, the main thing for me, why I was hesitating, was this rather strange Pug-Nosed thing, which I've come to terms with in my interpretation of it anyway. And so now I'm quite happy to do it. Anyway, don't know if that's your interpretation. Don't know what you think of the song. But that's my little look at a lyric and a song.